Okay, so I'm at one of the main beaches here in Kuta, Bali, and to my surprise, when I first got here, I was in shock. I could not believe just how bad the beach is in terms of the pollution and the color of the water. If you take a look at the water here behind me, I don't know if you can see it, it's basically tainted black from the pollution. If you look along the sand here, there's rubbish, there's plastics, and that's the result of pretty much poor management. Another theory is because of COVID. So pre-COVID, apparently this beach was a really popular tourist destination in terms of just things you can do here, activities, etc. But actually looking around, there's not many tourists here. The beach is pretty much empty. But the whole shore is lined with just rubbish. And that really upsets me. Not just as a scientist, but as a human being, to see that natural landscapes like this are getting destroyed. And I was actually even more shocked to find along the shore dead coral. Pieces of white dead coral. Now, for those of you who are familiar with coral is basically a living organism, lives in the ocean, and I'm sure you've probably heard of the effects of global warming on the oceans. So the reason why coral turns white is because of the amount of carbon dioxide they've absorbed. So they can only tolerate a certain amount of carbon dioxide. And when that threshold has been exceeded, they die. And the way they die is by bleaching. It's called coral bleaching. Coral bleaching eventually leads to their death. And so scientists can work out if certain coral species are in danger or not by just observing their colour in the ocean. So the Great Barrier Reef is a good example. If you've watched docos, you'll see certain coral discoloration, and that's a result of excessive carbon dioxide in the water. So carbon dioxide gets absorbed in the water, in the oceans, and organisms like coral absorb that carbon dioxide, right? It's got to go somewhere, and sadly they die, they pass away, and that's not good for ecosystems in the oceans. And that can affect the food chains, food webs, and this is something I'll be teaching my students this year about the earth and the effects of human activity. So really, really sad to see this. We can do a lot more better than this as human beings. And for future generations, it's not a good thing.